Now that I'm super comfortable with it, it's not as bad, but it's still something can you do a dive roll and it's in rehearsal? I'm always like, I'll just wait till the stage. Like, I'm not going to do it now.
So the adrenaline's kicked in.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be the same. My favorite but scariest, the one that I do, it's like a split, but I'm like on a horizontal axis, so I'm like kind of like lean back into like a pike. That one was one of the easier ones to learn, but I broke my hand doing it before World of Dance, like 2 days before my performance. It's the scariest in the way that you're so horizontally that if you do miss your feet, you're basically going down. Yeah, your whole body weight is crushing, for me, my hand, but depending on how you land.
Yeah.
But I mean, any trick can be scary, especially as you have adrenaline and you have height. Anything can happen with that, especially with adrenaline, and in rehearsals, it's not, the exact same. Obviously, you just have that much more energy with those tricks on stage. So, I mean, a lot of the tricks that I think both of us do are scary, but then again, you have to get over that fear and just kind of conquer it and just be spatially aware as a smart dancer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Someone said they couldn't see my face, but hopefully they can see my face now. What's your biggest tip for a 540? Oh, I think honestly, the same leg.
You're skipping it.
Yeah, you're skipping. So it's like you're creating a hurdle out of your own leg,
right,
to jump over it with your other leg. But the biggest tip for me as well is the more horizontal you are, the easier that hurdle is going to be. If you're upright,
so hard.
Let's say you're not very flexible, because you can actually do it at 540 if you're not crazy flexible. You can attempt to do one for sure. But if your body is upright and not that flexible, your leg isn't going to get close enough, up high enough for you to hurdle over it.
Yeah.
So the further away your body is from your leg that's supposed to wipe over, is the better. And just I would say practice doing barrel jumps. So barrel jumps are like the horizontal kind of, and 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you want to practice those, and that's kind of the rhythm you want to have when you do a 540.
Totally. Yeah, I think same for me. It's scariest because you have to lift your focus up and lean your chest back. But the more you do get comfortable with that and you get over that fear of doing the 540, it becomes so much easier. I think keeping your body down on the prep and just keeping it on that horizontal axis is what honestly helps keep it easy almost, even though it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say that, and then just making sure that your hips are twisting fast, because it's how fast you rotate with your hips to get that second leg over. And keeping your body and your focus front. A lot of people kind of think it's a tour in the way that you're following your focus with where you're turning, but it is keeping your focus and your body and chest front, and just letting your hips and your legs do the work.
Right.
I would say.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see. Sorry, there's some of the same ones.
No, it's okay.
Advice on being a powerful dancer and having confidence.
My advice is, I would just say, like, work on the qualities that you like about what you like about yourself, and like conquer them and use that as your confidence, basically, because like you need to play on your strengths. That's the only way you're gonna become confident, is if you play on your strengths. If you're playing on like other things that like create doubt in your mind, then you're not gonna conquer that confidence. So you really want to play on your strengths, and you want to find what those strengths are, and then make them even stronger, so that you feel like you can do basically anything, really. So yeah, and being a powerful dancer, it just comes with, honestly, researching and watching other people that you admire, and like seeing how they dance and adapting to, if you see something and you like it, like there's nothing wrong with trying to do it like the way you see it. But obviously that's when your strengths have to come into the equation, where which is what makes it personal, because you never want to be a copycat. You want to be able to have your own unique thing. But it's technically not copying if you see something that you like and you try to do it, but just obviously do it in your own little way. Yeah, I
think kind of like Michael was saying, you really have to play off of your strengths as a dancer. And of course you train, obviously, and styles, and your technique is similar growing up to, you know, your whole class. But I think as you grow up, it's important to kind of find your niche, like find where you separate yourself. Like Maka was saying, you have to emulate, you have to follow a trick, you know, to learn the basics and to get your body moving in that way. But then you have to start inventing and seeing, you know, a lot of the jumps that I create are just from jumps that I actually can't do that are normal jumps, and then from there your body just finds a different way to kind of create it that's similar but not necessarily the same. So I think emulating and then inventing is super important to kind of separate you in this industry, and to keep you as a confident dancer, like Michael was saying, playing towards your strength. Power wise, I think I'm so big on strengthening and conditioning. I think if you really want power and height with your jumps and all that stuff, it's not just technique, you know, it's consistency with your jumps, but it's also strengthening, conditioning, like crazy, to build that, you know, core strength, to build that quad and hamstring, you know, flexibility, strength. There has to be that balance between strength and flexibility to keep everything even and balanced.
Yeah.
But then again, it's just consistent training. And if you really want it bad enough, there's definitely a way to make it happen. And again, it's different for everyone, but
yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're right.
You're
Okay.
right.
Let me see. Okay. Fave dance on World of Dance from World of Dance.
I got asked this the other day. I liked all of them, but I think my favorites. Can we do favorites, or should we just do one?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite was my qualifier, which was Mercy, and then my divisional final, which was the ninja one.
I like that. I like the ninja one. This is dope.
You could probably do the ninja one.
No. Oh my gosh.
We'll go back on World of Dance and we'll do a male female ninja. What about you?
I loved Ashes. I think I really connected to Ashes the most emotionally. But I also loved the boxed one. It was really challenging for me. Kind of was everything that I love to be as a dancer, I guess, myself. Like, I love my gymnastics. I love the power. I love the jazz. So I think it was just a really great, it was the perfect style for me. Exactly just what I love.
I think those were my favorites from you too.
And Ashes, I just like really connected to and really enjoyed performing without having to just think about steps. It was more just like connect.
Yeah, you could tell.
But I loved all of them. Like Redemption and all of them were really fun too. But
no, you did so amazing on every round.
Oh gosh, no, you did.
You did. Imagine we were versing each other. That would not be fun. I don't want to ever verse you.
Oh my God, stop. I don't want to verse you. Sorry, I'm just kind of.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who would win in the duels between Briar and Michael?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, I don't even know. Or if we were in the finale, like two soloists.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Okay.
I don't know if I would hate you. I'd probably hate you.
I would just be like, oh my God, here we go. I love you, but I don't know what we have to do. Just dance.
What is your daily schedule while in a quarantine? In a quarantine. Oh my God. In quarantine. Jeez Louise. Wake up, then figure out what I'm going to do. I don't really plan the day before. Sometimes I do. But usually I wake up, I have breakfast, and then I'll do a little bit of a workout probably. I'll go to the park. I live right near a park, so I'll go out because it's nice weather here. And then I have the rest of the night, the rest of the kind of afternoon and night to like chill and do some things, maybe work on a few things. Like most recently I came out with tutorials, and so I've been building a website and all of that. So I was working on a project for that. Building that took a while, so a lot of my start of my quarantine was pretty much that.
Right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, being at home, I've been cooking a lot and baking and stuff like that, and I enjoy doing that as well in my spare time because I have that right now. And that's pretty much what my quarantine schedule has been. I've tried to get out a little bit because I think if I was to be inside, I would feel crazy. But obviously, I'm keeping my distance from people when I'm out, and like being in my own little bubble when I'm outside.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I'm trying to think. For me, again, it kind of varies on the day. Definitely eating properly, making sure I'm getting strong breakfast, lunch, and dinner in. Like kind of like Michael was saying, baking and cooking has been like definitely a big thing for me since usually we're always on the go. I've been training a lot, going for runs outside every day, doing some boxing, kickboxing, dance, conditioning, strengthening, just kind of working out, getting that in during my day. Do computer work. If I'm teaching, then I'll teach. Spending time with my family. It does kind of depend on the day and what I have going on. A lot of meetings and during Zoom and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it kind of just depends on the day. Just kind of
Taking it day by
figuring
day.
out what we do.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. Let's see what else we got. Well, so
There's too many of the same question.
yeah, there's so many. They're all about World of Dance. Like, how does it feel to perform on World of Dance?
Yeah.
What was it like? What was your favorite memory?
Yeah.
Which I feel like for both of us are all kind of, the same of getting to meet such incredible people and see different styles that we've never seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, just respecting all of them. A lot of tips on stuff. So I guess we can just kind of all around do advice for jumps and flexibility, maybe.
You go.
Okay. Getting the split in jumps and height. Again, talking about jumps, I think the biggest thing is for me strengthening. Of course, you have to get your stamina built in your legs, whether it's squat jumps, lunge jumps, but doing them for a consistent amount of time for about 60 seconds at the same speed. I also love practicing my jumps without using my arms, whether they are jetés or side split leaps. Keeping my arms in first position the whole time really kind of helps me build up that strength in my leg, knowing that I don't need my arms, my body to help me do the work of getting the height that I need, especially for the big tricks like the 540 where your arm momentum and arm strength isn't used. It's mainly all leg momentum and strength. Yeah. So I think really building your jumps by not needing to use your arms and strengthening and conditioning your body to get your legs in strong shape, I would say is probably, but again, having balance between flexibility and strength is important. After you do a huge strengthening session, doing over splits, doing your bridge, making your shoulders are, flexible. So I think it's just keeping everything in balance.
Yeah, I agree with you in that as well. Like, it's all about just maintaining and training and like finding the right technique and obviously repeating that technique over and over. And the more you practice, the better it's going to get. Like, if you have the right technique. So you want to make sure that you're training in a way that is the right way.
Yeah.
And there's no like, it's not like there's only one way and the one way only. It's the right way for your body. So when you get to that feeling of like, oh, this feels right, like I feel like I can work towards this and this can become better, then you're on the right path. But if you feel like you're doing it over and over and you're like hurting yourself and you're like not jumping high enough and all of that, then you need to like strip it down and like figure out what it is that you need to work on in order to kind of in order to progress really. Yeah,
totally. So people are asking if we're doing, where did they go? Sorry, there was a few of them here. Just finding them. Oh my gosh, where'd it go? I just literally lost it.
What was the question? We're like wearing the same color t-shirt.
Oh my god, beige. We're always, I messaged Mike last night. I was like, I'm going to do a slow one. He's like, oh my god, stop. I'm doing a slow one too. But I ended up changing mine.
Yeah.
People are just asking if we're going to be doing Zoom classes or if we're going to do more classes like this and all that stuff.
It totally depends. I feel like it depends on where everyone's at in the world. Like, I feel like things are starting to slowly possibly get back to normality. And by that, I mean, I think people are, like where I'm from in Australia, I think people are going to be going back to school and stuff pretty soon and taking dance classes at their studio. So it really just depends. But from my experience with doing the online live classes and all of that, like, I've actually really enjoyed it. So it's something I'm not opposed to. And even even once quarantine is over, like I would still be interested in probably doing a kind of virtual class here and there because I, as a teacher and everything like that, like I travel a lot to teach classes, and so sometimes the timing and that doesn't work out for a specific place or a country. And so
Totally.
I feel like if I do the virtual class, the people will still be able to get that experience.
Totally.
Yeah, so.
True. Yeah, I think like Michael and I were kind of figuring out when planning this class, we were like, it's so hard to find a time zone or a time that works for everyone around the world. So, you know, we thought the time that we did today, you know, Canada, the UK, even Europe, the States, you know, Australia was the only one that we were having a hard time finding work because obviously they're in the middle of the night right now. But we thought Instagram would be the best way to do it so that they can be involved by us saving our lives. And basically they can take the class, or you guys can take the class at any point in time that you want to do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be when we are live. Obviously, when we are live, you can ask those personal questions about the choreo that you have. You can get requested to be and show us, you know, the choreo that we taught. But if it's saved, you know, you can learn it at any point. You can still post the videos and we can still find them and watch them through our tagged and whatnot. So I think, you know, we were wondering if Instagram was going to be a good way to do it. And I think it did actually kind of work out really well because we got to kind of do everything with everyone around the world. Zoom, I think, is great as well, but connection-wise, I feel like it was more trustworthy to do it on Instagram because we didn't have any glitches or anything. So, I mean, I think it'd be fun to do it again. I wouldn't, like Michael said, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. We did kind of come up with it super late, so we only did really do it or post it 3 days before this class happened. So I know it was kind of a shock to a lot of people. But I mean, maybe if we do it next week, we'll see. Like, let us know in the comments if you would want us to do another class together, or if you would, if you have any kind of comments as if, you know, you would like another platform, or if, you know, you had any criticism for us. We're always happy to kind of hear your thoughts about it and what you thought about it. But I think, if you guys enjoyed it, then maybe we can do one next week
again,
or we can talk about it.
For sure.
And see how it goes. But if you guys have any, I guess, critiques or any thoughts that you wanted to share about these classes, if you liked them, if you had things you would want us to improve on, just let us know.
Yeah, we're open to working on that for sure.
People are saying yes, though, which is good.
Yeah, that is good.
Please do more. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think we just will, if we're going to do it, we'll kind of talk about it today, and we'll see if we can, if we are going to do it, promote it a little bit earlier so you guys have a week in advance to kind of get organized with your schedules, because I know it was kind of last minute this one. We were kind of like, should we do it? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Get it on. And I know, you know, different time zones have different amounts of time to kind of figure it out. So it can get complicated, but I know, kind of like Michael was saying, people are going back to, you know, school and stuff soon. So if we are going to do it,
we need to do it soon.
While people are home, then we should do it soon. So and we can even, people are saying like it'd be cool to do a technique class. Maybe our next one we can do, you know, I could teach a technique class or a strength conditioning, and then, you know, or vice versa, you teach that and I teach a combo, and
we can do it back to back like that for sure. But
I think if you guys just let us know.
Talk to us and ask us what you would like, and we will be happy to kind of give that, because we obviously want people to come back, and we want people to learn from us and train with us. So whatever feedback you guys have, let us know for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Do you want to answer like a few more before we go off?
Yeah, let's do like one or two more. Okay,
perfect. Let me just see where the questions are at. How long have we been friends for? I think we actually, well, obviously I knew of you before, but I think the first time I met you was the World of Dance finale for my season, because you were performing.
That's where we met. Physically met, but I feel like we knew each other.
We
knew of each other.
We were definitely following each other through the times before, but like the first time we actually met was definitely
we met on season 3, and then when was our first video that we did?
I think it was the next time I came to LA after that finale, which at least a few years ago, because I mean my season was 2018.
And we did that video in 2019 though, right?
Yeah, so probably about a year, I would say, maybe a little more, a year and a half.
Right, yeah. Well, we've been friends for a while.
I know. Stretching tips. Do you have any stretching tips?
You're the flexible one. You can.
Honestly, it's hard, especially as we grow older and, you know, our bodies are changing and we're getting taller, or like everything is adjusting. So you have to really keep up with flexibility. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned growing up through dance and gymnastics is you're never just, once you get a left split, you're not just guaranteed to have it for the rest of your life. I do over splits every single day because with the amount of strengthening I do, I have to keep my flexibility maintained. And so I think over splits, bridges for your shoulders, because I have really tight shoulders. So again, I think it varies on the person, but definitely splits and over splits, holding them for longer than 30 seconds. You know, you have to be able to kind of subside that pain for at least a minute. To really get that stretch. But any type of stretching is good. You know, stretching your hamstrings, your quads, your splits, your bridges. Like, I think just maintaining it, and it takes like 5 minutes to do, you know, whatever it is, stretches to do. I do 1 minute of over splits on each side.
Yeah,
3
stretching, you
minutes.
need patience, that's for sure. Because you can't just
Definitely.
like hit a lunge and then hit another lunge. Like, you need to like
And then you're
you
done.
need to hold your stretches so your body can like adjust to the position it's in. And that's one thing like it teaches you patience for sure.
And I think this kind of goes with it. Well, I ended off with this question: is how much patience is important to become what you want to be, or who you want to be as a dancer?
It takes a lot of patience. Just because, and that's just with anything in life. Like, if you tell yourself, hey, I want to learn how to do this, like, you can't put an expectation on like being able to achieve it in a matter of days. Like, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And like, for us, like, we're a good example because we've been dancing since you said 7, and when I started I was 10. So it's like, and I'm 24 now, so that's like 14 years I've been dancing. So and I haven't even looked at it like that. Like, I haven't been like, I'm gonna dance for this long and I'm gonna become an amazing dancer. Like, that's not the way I think of it. I just think I'm passionate about this, and if I'm passionate, then I'm gonna work towards it.
Yeah.
And that's really like where you need to, like, if you don't feel like you have a passion, you need to go out there in the world and you need to find that passion, because that's the best. That's what you're gonna be best at, is what you're passionate about. So yeah, and of course that's where patience comes in, because if you're passionate, like, you can't just say I'm passionate and then expect to like be good at what you're passionate about in a night. Like, you need time, and you need to discipline yourself, and you need to like have that, you know, have that patience. And
I think patience is honestly maybe one of the most important things about being successful in whatever industry you're in. Like, you have to have patience with yourself. And I know, especially for Michael and I, that's hard for us because we like to do things quick. We like to get things fast. But you need to have that patience behind it because, yeah, like Michael was saying, you need to have that fuel behind you that keeps you motivated, keeps you inspired, keeps you wanting to learn more, because there's never an end to how much you can learn. And you know, even with injuries, it ties into that too. Like, you have to have that patience to take your body and recover it, get, you know, that treatment that you need, to take the time off if you need it, to then come back even stronger. And I think I struggle with that sometimes. Is like, when I'm injured, I'm like, I just have no patience. I just want to get up and make sure I can still dance and do the jumps and turn. And it takes a lot of patience. But then again, if you want it bad enough and you have those goals as a dancer in whatever industry you're in, and you keep patient with yourself and with your body, since dancing is, you know, our bodies are basically our trophy in dance. You need your body. So I think you need to take care of your body and your mind, physically and mentally. And I think with all that, it comes with loving what you do. And if you love it enough, then, you know, I think you'll make it happen. And you just be patient. Again, like Michael's saying, none of our tricks that we do come overnight. It literally takes years of consistency and practice. But you also have to know when to stop. If you're doing 540s for 3 hours a day, your body's exhausted. You need to, you know, take a second, regroup, figure out, watch a video, watch it in slow-mo, see what you need to work on, and then come back the next day or a few days later, you know, stronger and ready to try it again. Don't push yourself to hurt yourself, if that makes sense. You don't need to do it 500,000 times. Not that you purposely want to hurt yourself when you're trying it, but be patient with your body. Give yourself the love that it needs, the care, you know. Eat well.
And the cool thing about it is, like, once you get something that you're working towards, like, you've gotten it. Like, once you cross that line of getting it, you get it. And then it basically, from then on out, all you do from there is get better at it. Like, you're not going to get worse at it, because it's like, for us, like, with my tricks and all of that, like, obviously the process of learning them was where the frustration comes into play, because it's like, I'm not getting it straight away, you know? But then the moment I get it, I know what it feels like. And then it's like, oh,
muscle memory.
Wow, like, I can do it. Like, you're surprised that you can do it, because you just get over that kind of fear of, like, whatever it is that's going on in your head, you get over it, and then you're able to do it all of a sudden. So just have that in your mind, and have that faith that, like, once you get it, you've gotten it, kind of thing.
And I think patience also ties into, like, when you are competing and say you don't do well, like having that patience with yourself to be able to go back to the studio, think of the positive sides of what you can do to motivate yourself to keep going.
Yeah,
And
obviously,
even when
whenever
Michael and
you,
I film videos too, like we have to be patient with ourselves because we have such high expectations on us. You know what I
oh my
mean?
God,
As a duo
I'm
and as
crazy.
like individual dancers, like we stop hundreds of thousands of times. If you guys saw the process of us doing a video compared to the final product, like a lot of work goes into it and a lot of patience with each other, with the videographer, with, you know, like everyone that's a part of it. You need
Yeah.
to have that patience because,
And
again,
that's
it doesn't
always
just
the
come in
case.
one
Like,
run.
the final product is literally like 10% of what the actual product is, basically. Like, the final product is like nothing compared to like what we go through. And like, that's the thing, that it's more than just what is shown to the public eye. Like, there's more to it, and that's something that you will discover when you obviously put your mind towards something you're passionate about, and you'll see. And if it doesn't feel right for you, then that's great. Then you're learning that you're not that's not something for you, and that gives you the time to move on to something else that you are passionate about.
For sure. So someone from the class was just saying, should we send the videos to your personal accounts or to this account if they have videos from our class?
I think send it to the account the lives were on, so the Michael times Briar live account.
Yeah.
Because we both have access to that page, so we can have a look
We
there.
can see it. Awesome. Perfect. Well, thanks guys for all your questions and for tuning in. Michael and I had an awesome time teaching you guys, getting to watch some of you guys and talk to you guys and answer your questions. And hopefully we can do this again soon. So we love your feedback. If you did take the class, you can DM us on the Michael times Briar live and we'll check it out to see if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns. And hopefully we can make this happen again. It would be so